the whole diet itself, or the nutrition plan itself, it has to work for you. What's going on, YouTube? So Potsy here from Iron Out Fat, and I haven't posted for a while. So we're gonna sit down and have a little talk. So it's been about 2 years since I kind of fell off the wagon. And what had happened is I hit a plateau, which we all knew was bound to happen. There's no way I lost, I think, between 60 and 70 pounds. I was down to 305, and from I think 369 or 368 roughly. And I hit a plateau, and I tried a few things. I didn't try, obviously I didn't try hard enough, because I'm kind of back to square one. But yeah, I hit the plateau. I decided I'll start adding. I'll bring back carbs, so I'll have the same calories. I'll still be in a calorie deficit, but I'll bring back the carbs. And I wasn't ready for that. What I didn't research was how your body treats carbs when you're coming off of a keto diet. And if you're trying keto and you're beginning or in the middle, or you're on a plateau, research how to introduce carbs back in your diet, because I'm no doctor and I'm no health professional or anything, but your body treats your body treats carbs the same way as it did before. You put carbs back in your diet and your body just wants to throw it into fat storage. So it kind of started on a slippery slope there. I put carbs back in my diet, and it just went from there. And it turned. I slid back into the same old routines. I even slowed down on the gym. I took a lot of breaks off, a lot of breaks from the gym. Like a week here off, a week there off, and for whatever excuses I made up. Yeah, 2 years later, I'm back to the same weight that I started out. I was actually probably about 2 or 3 pounds heavier. The same as before. I don't like being at this weight. Not that it's not even that it's not healthy. Of course it's not healthy to be at this weight. It's not healthy to be at 300 and 305 pounds, you know what I mean? But when I was at 305, around that weight, around 300, it's just, my body can deal with it a lot easier. Like anything, really. You add more weight to your body, more fat to your body. It's hard on your body, and it's taxing, and it does different things to your body. It's not just like you're tired it's not just like that it's hard to go upstairs or anything like that, but it's hard on your organs. It's hard mentally. It drags you down. So I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be this weight. Number one. Number two, it's not comfortable day to day. The last time when I started doing this diet, I researched the hell out of it and a bunch of shit, and I jumped right into it, and I did everything hardcore to the max. And I think that might have been a factor in why I fell off the diet. It's I was doing chicken, and my macros were on point every fucking day, but I was eating the same shit every fucking day. You know what I mean? So I think that's a factor of why I fell off. This time around, I eased myself into the diet. I slowly started changing things. I think it took 2 to 3 months, and realistically, from when I decided I'm gonna, it's soon, sometime in the near future, I'm gonna start changing my diet again and eating better, reevaluate my calories and where I'm at, which wasn't hard because I did it before, so I kind of knew what I needed to do. I looked into a lot of alternatives, and foods that I need to have to be able to survive on this diet, because There's going to be times, and there's no way around it. Unless you're a hermit and you don't go out, unless you're single and you don't have family and you don't go out and you stay in your house, like if you're some computer programmer or whatever and your job's at home and you don't go out at all, which can be helpful if that's your lifestyle. Like, unless you're that type of person, you're going to come across outings where people are eating the stuff that you would want to eat, and the only thing you can do is either bring foods that can offset your cravings for those other foods, or remove yourself from the situation. Now, I've had to do that here and there, but I find it's a little easier if you have snacks that on hand that won't destroy your diet, that you can eat to keep you full. My brain works so, like, hey, you want to do something? You do it. You just decide to do it, and you do it. Well, it turns out that it's not that easy, especially when you have, I guess, I don't know, a brain like mine. I don't want to call it a disease. I really don't like saying that, hey, I'm like this because I have a problem or a disease. I don't like saying that. But there is a reality of the situation that I think I may have, like an eating disorder. I don't want to self-diagnose myself here, but it seems quite apparent. Like, when I was trying to get into this diet, all someone had to say was, "Hey, do you want pizza?" And like, my brain, like, somewhere deep inside my brain was going, "Well, no, you're supposed to eat better." But out came my mouth was like, "Fucking sure, 100%. Yeah." And that every time I did that, it like, when the pizza or whatever it is, when it was on its way, like being delivered, in my head I'm like, why the fuck are you doing this? But the other side of my brain was like, this is going to be so amazing. You're going to get this fucking pizza and it's going to be amazing. And for the first like three or five bites, it is. And then you get full, and that euphoria, like that full feeling, and that like the awesome like carbs feeling kicks in. But it's not like 5 minutes later that I'm already like regretting the decision I made. And I can't even explain it. It's so hard to explain it, and I want to explain it as if it's like a drug. And I've read quite a few articles now that suggest that your body does treat carbs like a drug. Like, you get those highs and lows. You get what do you call that? Hangry. People call it hangry and stuff like that. That's like partially carbs. Your body treating carbs like a drug. On top of me having a problem with carbs and eating like that and overeating all the time, it makes for a really bad combination. So to wrap my point around that, 2 years I fell off the wagon. I slid off. I ate everything in sight. I gained all the weight back, because the reality of it is, it's fucking easy to put the weight back on if you're not careful. So diets. There's lots of diets out there. There's lots of fad diets. There's lots of good diets, bad diets, fad diets. So honestly, in my opinion, you use what works for you. And you have to understand, you have to use what works for you. Like, not what works for you for the first 2 weeks. Not what works for you for like the first 5 days or the first like month. You have to use what works for you for the rest of your life. Or at least until you get down to a healthy weight where your body can then start dealing with carbs properly. And not all diets are equal, but like, when it comes down to it, I don't want to say it's simple, because it's never simple. I'm the last person to say that it's simple, because if it was simple, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation, right? But realistically, when you want to get down to it and crunch the numbers, you just have to figure out how to eat less calories than what your body burns in a day. I've said that before. I've got other videos. What I'll do is I'll link those videos in the bottom, in the descriptions. But what I do to help the process along is I eat low carb on top of eating less calories. I just find that it's easier, and the weight loss, it's not easier. It's not an easier diet. It's just the weight loss comes off a little quicker. I tried doing this in the very, very beginning with rice. Like, rice was one of the main carb sources in my diet, and I wasn't moving anywhere. Either that, or it was just too slow for my liking. But another thing you have to understand is sometimes, like, slow and steady wins the race, right? So my weight came off super fast. I was losing at the first 2 weeks. I think I lost almost 20 pounds, maybe 15. I lost 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks. Now that's too much, really. That is. And then for like a good couple weeks, I was losing 5 pounds every week for like, I think, 8 weeks. Like 5 pounds every week. It was coming off like melted butter, and that was awesome. But because it happened so fast, and I hit the plateau really quickly, and I didn't know what to do. There's a point, like, you have to understand that if you feel the urge that you're gonna eat carbs, or that you're getting to that point where you're like, man, I gotta eat something, or I'm gonna lose my shit and go off my diet. Don't worry about weighing your snacks. Like, if your zero carb snacks is what's going to help you stay on track, just eat it. I found that, like, you just got to eat it, get it into your system, and get rid of that starving feeling, so that you're not so tempted to eat the carbs. Family members will have like their desserts or whatever they want to eat, and even if I have just eaten a meal, seeing that food, like a pumpkin pie or something in front of me, it eats at me. If it sits there, if it's sitting there in front of me, like, or across the table, it eats at me. I have to remove it from the situation. I don't think there's anybody out there realistically that can keep you on your diet. You know what I mean? You have to keep yourself, and you have to realize that it takes time. You have to be patient. Like, I started on eating better and counting my calories and doing all that, and I think it took like a month before I started seeing any benefits. You know what I mean? Like, at first, I think I dropped like somewhere around 10 pounds, but then it halted for a bit, for like a week or two, and then I dropped a few more. You have to listen to your body, and you're the only one accountable for it. Like, nobody can hold you. Like, what's somebody gonna do? Like, if you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna eat whatever I want to eat, and like, what's somebody else gonna do? Tell you you're a fat piece of shit? Does it really matter to you if you've made the decision in your head that you're like, I don't care, I'm eating that pizza because I've just, like, I don't care anymore? What are they going to do to you? Realistically, there's nothing they can do to stop you from doing what you want to do. So you need to be accountable to yourself. You need to realize that, like, the only person that's going to help you is you. And you gotta be patient. Like, you can't expect to lose 5, 10, 20 pounds in the first, like, month or something, or the first 2 weeks. That's great. If you do, that's great. Like I did, fine. That's cool. You dropped weight real quick, but you have to realize that you may have done it not the correct way. Don't go changing the whole formula. Maybe give it another week. See what happens. Give it time to, like, maybe your body is holding on to, it doesn't want to lose weight. You know, your body is made that way. It doesn't want to let go of this weight. So maybe maybe it's going to take 2 weeks for your body to get into, like, the fat burning process and start using fat as fuel. You got to give it time before you start changing the whole regime that you're doing. Like, just because it's not working 1 or 2 weeks in, don't go changing your whole formula. Everything you eat affects, like, this, like my coffee right now. I have like this ginormous coffee, but there's like 80 grams of heavy whipping cream in there. That's like that's a shitload of calories. So, like, there's no carbs, but it's high in fat, which is good because I need my fats every day. But the calories are just out through the fucking roof. So you have to understand that everything comes into play. I guess the takeaways of this are you need to create a healthy eating plan or a nutrition plan for yourself that works for you. Now, when I say works for you, you got to make sure that it doesn't just works for you in the losing weight factor. It has to work for you in keeping you happy and keeping you on track or on your diet. That's what I mean by works for you. The whole diet itself, or the nutrition plan itself, it has to work for you. It has to allow you to lose weight, stay on the diet, and stay happy. If you don't have those things while you're doing this, while you're trying to lose weight, you're not going to stay on it. You're gonna lose track. You're gonna fall off the boat like I did. And I would have to say the reason why I fell off the boat is I wasn't happy because I wasn't losing weight, and I got really tired of the same old shit, like the same stuff I was eating. It was just like chicken and veggies, and friggin' the only way I was getting in my fats was pouring olive oil and everything. It wasn't like, it got me to a certain point and that was it. So till next time, guys, stay on your clean eating. Stay on track. If you get off the wagon, don't beat yourself up too much about it. Just make sure you try to get back on, and eventually do get back on.